Okay, well, I've tried to sand that thing down, and I keep putting it in this hop-up chamber, and my readings are totally bad. So this hop-up chamber, as you can see, is installed correctly. There's some metal there that kind of blocks the air nozzle from going forward. We can kind of see that here. We'll take out the other and see what that looks like. But this one consistently is giving 260 to 290, and this is the Prometheus set. It's giving a lot lower now because of all the sanding. So if I didn't do any sanding, I'm sure we would have been up to 400, because I used to get consistently 350, 370. That was after I started sanding. So here we go. We're going to set this aside real quick and compare. My friend doesn't care if I hit the pin out with this, so that's what I'm going to use. Let's disconnect the battery. See, the motor height adjustment hasn't changed. What it was going to show is the hump up right here, hump up chamber. Let's go ahead and pull that out. So my friend doesn't care if I use this. I usually use my pin removal set so I don't leave any marks. This was already marked big time before me, so really it's not going to make a difference. But go ahead and put this in here. Pull this back. Be careful not to drop anything. Let's put this down. And did I leave it to the front? Yes, I did. Okay, good. I thought I shot in semi. I couldn't remember. That air nozzle's been really sanded down, just so you can see. For the sake of it, might as well see. It's really been sanded down to fit in there. Okay, so here is the really nice unit, the good barrel and everything unit. So here we go. Let's compare down here. Maybe here we can see a little bit better. Up at the light. Okay, see, we can see the notch inside there. See, the tests were done with no hop, just in case somebody was wondering. Trying to see the little notch, but I don't think we can see it. There's a little notch in there. See it there? Here's the good unit. So that might be closer or further away, not sure if that was creating the first problem. But either way, the sanding has not helped this unit out whatsoever. So I'm not exactly sure what should have been done to make it seal properly. But from my understanding, sanding the air nozzle is not going to make a very good seal anyways. What should have probably been done is find a GMP air nozzle to go with the GMP metal hop up. Let's compare a little bit more here. This has definitely been filed down and sanded to become a little bit more centered into the gearbox. This one, you can see it's already like that. Has an O-ring on the magazine feed. This one does not, although that shouldn't really matter. It just shows Prometheus is trying to accommodate for everything. Basically, people will call that a gimmick. So here's the lock. Excuse me, I'm not sure exactly what we call these. The C-clip lock, I'm guessing. You can see it's very solid. And the what you would call that, the ring right here, the middle ring is in there very solid. Looking at the bucking, it's in there very solid. So it's a nice little unit. It's a little dirty from the shooting. Okay, so let's put that down. So here, you can see I have to pinch that clip to get in. There was some Teflon tape used, and I used a little too much, but that doesn't do anything with the compression. I've done this a lot of times. So any other comparison really is to the feeder, which is not really going to show much. This looks a little bit more refined. Well, this one doesn't. It's just rounded. Yeah, to me this this chamber looks like the line in here is a little bit closer, and that's probably what prevented this from going in. But it's also possible that the KWA inner barrel sucks, and having that bucking on there doesn't seal very well in here, even though with the Teflon tape, super glue. Well, there was no gasket used, but the compression seems to be good from end to end when tested. But what I'm saying is the bucking could be a little bit tighter, or something could be going on in there, because this is so different that when we put it on here, the lips are getting hit and pushed, and it's just not giving good compression. Obviously the two do not work together, so gonna have to ditch this because I haven't figured out exactly why they do not work together, other than I know the brands are different and they probably create some kind of meshing issue. I haven't been able to physically see how that could be different. Let's get away from the shadow. You can see the bucking lips protrude out about 1 millimeter, maybe a little bit further in that one. In here, they do not. See, no protruding in the bucking. You cannot see the bucking. Here you can see the bucking, and that right there is showing why the air nozzle cannot go all the way forward. See here, you cannot see it. It's flush to the Hopup feeding magazine chamber, so this is obviously not going to work. First, let's talk about the amperage thing going out, because if you remember my video, the amperage couldn't get up to 30, and the reason it has become higher is because of this. This has active braking. Active braking, for some reason, likes to use 1.5 to 2 amps more. So when I shoot in semi here, I used to get about 650. Sometimes I get 8. So sometimes a little bit higher. And that's only because of the MOSFET. That's not because of anything else. If I don't use the MOSFET, we'll go back to the original. So we were getting some of the readings were 24, 25 amps. Well, with this, somehow creating more amperage, and not just active braking, I'm sure. Active braking, I'm sure. It has to do with the the burst mode, I'm sure, is creating the amperage to go up too. So we're getting sometimes close spikes to 30, and the fuse is blowing for that reason. So kind of to clarify that, checking to see if it feels hot or anything. I have pretty much broken in the motor at this point. Let me disconnect the battery so it doesn't fall. Here's kind of just to show what the MOSFET looks like when it's hooked up. If I can get that. So I do have different settings that I can do here. So watch. It's pretty cool. So like if I go into this mode, see, that's selecting the battery 11.1. I think this is rate of fire control. And I think that's smart trigger. I think that's burst. These are burst settings right here. And then that's save. So you can see this is a really nice MOSFET.